Attention passionate Atlanta, Falcons fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC South and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Atlanta Falcons' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Atlanta, FALCONS FANS. Let's get to the news. Let's dive deep into what's brewing in the NFL, especially for us Falcons fans. The offseason is always a roller coaster, and this year it's no different. But there's one story that's really catching everyone's attention, and it involves a player who could significantly impact our team's fortunes this upcoming season. We're talking about the potential arrival of a veteran wide receiver who's been making waves across the league, Keenan Allen. Yes, you heard that right. The six-time Pro Bowler and one of the most consistent pass catchers in the NFL might soon be donning our colors. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Isn't Allen getting a bit long in the tooth? Isn't he past his prime? Well, let's break down the facts and see why this could be a game-changer for Atlanta. First, let's get some context. Keenan Allen has been a staple in the NFL for over a decade now. Since entering the league back in 2013, he's established himself as one of the most reliable and dynamic wide receivers in the game. Over his career, he's amassed more than 11,000 receiving yards and has consistently been a threat both in the short and intermediate routes, as well as in deep passes when given the opportunity. His ability to create separation, his precise route running, and his reliable hands make him a matchup nightmare for defenses. Even at 33 years old, Allen remains a high-level talent, and that's the key point here. Age is just a number, especially when a player still performs at a high level, and Allen, despite some injuries along the way, has shown he can still produce. In recent seasons, Allen has been remarkably consistent. In 2024, after leaving the Chargers and signing with the Bears, he put up respectable numbers, catching 70 passes for 744 yards and 7 touchdowns. Not bad at all, considering the circumstances. He played through a heel injury early in the season, which sidelined him for a couple of games, and still managed to be a significant part of Chicago's offense. For a team that was in a bit of disarray, Allen's presence provided stability, reliability, and a veteran voice in the locker room. His production last year, coupled with his career averages, still place him among the top free agent wide receivers available this offseason. Now, why is this relevant for the Falcons? Well, our receiving core has been a topic of discussion for a while. We have Drake London, who's shown flashes of brilliance and has the potential to be a true number one receiver, but consistency and depth remain questions. Darnell Mooney has been a solid option, especially in the slot, but overall, the group needs that extra spark, that veteran presence who can provide both production and leadership. Kyle Pitts, our talented tight end, has yet to fully realize his potential, partly hampered by injuries and inconsistent quarterback play. Bringing in a seasoned veteran like Allen could help elevate the entire passing game, providing a reliable target for whoever is under center, be it Desmond Ridder, or a new quarterback we might bring in through drafts or trades. Let's take a moment here to analyze his fit. Allen's style of play is perfect for a team looking for a dependable chain mover and red zone threat. His precise route running and sticky hands make him a perfect complement to London's explosive style and Mooney's quickness. Imagine a scenario where Allen lines up across from London, running precise routes, drawing coverage away from the younger receivers, and opening up opportunities for big plays. His experience can help develop our young core, and his presence on the field can be a calming factor for a young quarterback trying to find his rhythm. What about the numbers? Last season, despite some injury setbacks, Allen still managed to finish second on the Bears in receiving yards. His catch percentage hovered around 57.9%, which isn't elite, but considering the quarterback situation and some of the poor ball placement, it's respectable. Plus, he was targeted 120 times, showing that he remains a key part of the offense. That's the kind of workload and trust that a team like Atlanta could leverage. And let's not forget, in his prime with the Chargers, Allen was a 100-plus catch receiver more than once, capable of racking up over 200 yards in a season. His veteran savvy and playmaking ability could be exactly what our offense needs to become more explosive and consistent. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, well, isn't he a bit old for a rebuild? That's a fair point. But in today's NFL, players like Allen, who maintain high performance levels, can still be incredibly valuable. Plus, he's not just a passer, he's a locker room leader, a professional who understands what it takes to succeed at the highest level. His presence could also serve as a mentorship for our young receivers, especially London and the emerging talents like Scotty Miller or the promising rookies we might target in the draft. But here's the thing, the Falcons are not just sitting still. There's ongoing chatter about Kyle Pitts, our talented but somewhat underwhelming tight end. Reports suggest that Atlanta has received multiple trade inquiries about Pitts. According to insiders like Jordan Schultz, the Falcons are open to trading Pitts if the right offer comes along, potentially for a day 2 pick, a third-rounder perhaps. Now, if that trade happens, it would create a bigger need for veteran pass catchers, and Allen could be the perfect addition to fill that void. Think about it. If Pitts leaves, we'd be looking for another reliable target, and Allen fits that profile perfectly. His ability to catch in tight coverage, his experience in contested catch situations, and his knack for finding soft spots in zone coverage make him a perfect fit for our offensive scheme. The recent NFL draft also paints an interesting picture. The Falcons have been focusing on bolstering their defense, especially along the defensive line, but they also need to add more weapons on offense. The draft might bring in a promising wide receiver or tight end, but adding a veteran like Allen could be a strategic move to bridge the gap, to add that veteran touch while our younger players develop. His signing could also send a message to the division and the league that Atlanta is serious about competing now, not just building for the future. Of course, every player has its limitations. Allen is no longer in his prime, and some might argue he's lost a step. He's dealt with injuries, and his catch rate last year reflected some of those physical hurdles. But his football IQ, route savvy, and hands are still top tier. Plus, his ability to work the middle of the field and make contested catches means he can be a difference maker in critical moments, especially in the red zone. Looking at the NFC South, this division is getting more competitive every year, with teams like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, New Orleans Saints, and Carolina Panthers all investing heavily in their rosters. The Falcons need to respond with not just a solid draft class, but also smart veteran additions. Bringing in Allen could be that veteran spark that elevates the entire offense and gives us an edge when the games get tight late in the season. So what's next? Well, the NFL free agency market is still buzzing, and the signing of veteran players often happens late in the process. If Allen remains unsigned, the Falcons could have a real shot at bringing him in on a short-term deal, one that offers value and flexibility. It wouldn't just be about adding a receiver, it's about adding a leader, a guy who's been through the grind, who knows what it takes to succeed under the bright lights of the NFL. To sum it up, the potential signing of Keenan Allen could be one of the most strategic moves the Falcons make this offseason. It addresses our immediate need for reliable pass catchers, adds veteran leadership to a young core, and sends a message of intent to the rest of the league. Whether or not it happens, one thing is for sure: Atlanta is making moves, and the 2024 season could be a turning point for our franchise. The NFC South is fierce, but with smart signings and a cohesive team effort, the Falcons can rise to the top once again and make that deep playoff run we all dream about. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Atlanta Falcons news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Atlanta Falcons fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you believe Keenan Allen would be the perfect addition to our roster? Or do you think we should focus our resources elsewhere? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Falcons as a whole. We love engaging with you, and it helps us bring more in-depth content about your favorite team. Remember, this offseason is all about making smart moves, building a roster that's both talented and cohesive, and most importantly, staying hungry for that Super Bowl. So stay tuned, because I'll be back soon with more updates, insights, and analysis on everything Atlanta Falcons. Thanks for watching, and as always, let's keep that Falcons pride alive and roaring.